This one's different. Hi and welcome back to Polymer Clay channel. So today I'm doing something completely different. I went shopping, and what I'd like to do is share with you what I bought. And today is not going to be any kind of tutorial. I'm going to show you what I've bought so we can decide together what you think I should make with these things. So I went to HOBBYCRAFT. Here is the bag. It's making lots of noise. And I'm going to get out some things. They're not going to be in order. I've got some footage of when I was shopping, so I will put that up on the screen as I'm talking. Probably, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to try. And yeah, I'm going to show you what I've got. So this is a stencil. I'm going to put it up to the screen and see what you think. So this one is, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a sort of a flowery type thing, almost like lace. So what you can do with this is put it on some clay and then either put some mica powder on it or glitter if you wanted to. Soft chalks, you could press all sorts of things into this. If you imagine you had like a white piece of clay and then put it on there in sort of like a gradient sort of colour. So maybe you could start with like purple and then blues and sort of go ahead, or you could do the rainbow. So you could do all of them in sort of like, you know, one after the other. So that is one of them that I bought. Now I really like this. I've got some others, but they're not as intricate. So this is quite an intricate design. There's quite a lot. I'd have to keep this flat, I think. There's quite a lot of kind of like tiny pieces in this one. So because it's quite delicate, you're going to need to keep this quite flat. Now some of them that I've got, I've kind of like rolled up a little bit, but I don't recommend it because of course if you roll it up, you then have sort of tiny little bits sticking out. So that's not really good. But yeah, so that is one of them. So I don't know why I did this, but I decided to pick up some metallic paint. Now this is a really sort of bright goldy sort of colour. It's by Plasticoat. And it's called Brilliant Metallic, and yeah, I think I've got some projects in mind for this. Now, albeit not polymer clay, but to be honest, I thought I'd give it a go. So what I could do is spray something and then add polymer clay to it. So for those people that don't have a lot of clay out there, it might be an idea. You could get a jar of any kind, spray the heck out of it and then add some tiny little pieces of polymer clay to it, which would just be absolutely cool. Or what I'm thinking also, if you think about it, I could put this on a jar, spray it with that. Don't know what it would do to this, but maybe that could be something I could do. So yeah, this is just spray paint basically. I bought that nice colour because I don't know, I'm always drawn to kind of golds and metallic sort of colours, anything like that, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to try that. I can't remember how much it was though. I don't think it was particularly cheap. I think it was about £12. So yeah, not cheap, but I'm going to give it a try on something. So that's this one. Okay, so what we're going to start with next. Now, this is a bit strange. So it's literally a clear piece of glass. It's got a chain on the top here. Now, what I'm thinking for this, so I could put some translucent clay on it and then maybe some alcohol inks, and you could put it directly on here. You'd have to put it in a really thin sort of layer. It doesn't have much of a lip, so you'd have to put it on quite thin or expect the fact that you're going to sort of go over the kind of frame a little bit. And then I could maybe do a stained glass kind of effect. I mean, it doesn't look like you can hang it up any way other than this. It's going to have to be hung up that way around. But yeah, I'm thinking that I can do like a stained glass effect. But let me know in the comments what you think I should do with this. I like the idea of a stained glass thing because it puts the kind of the stress out of making the whole thing. You could just grab one of these and then do what on earth you like with it, and you'd end up with something completely original. So that was my idea behind this. So that's that one. I've got everything out of the bag now, so I've got it just right down here. So this one caught my eye, and you're going to know exactly why it caught my eye. Look at this. Okay, so yes, it's another jar, but this jar is already covered in glitter of some kind. It's got paint on it, but it's also got like a kind of speckled effect. I think it looks really cool. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I know I'm going to do something, but again, what I'm thinking is that you can use minimal clay with this one and actually have a really cool looking design. Now, I'm just looking at this to see if it is sprayed. I don't think it is. I can't scratch it off from the inside. So I think this is actually inside the glass, which is good because it means it will go in the oven. Quite frankly. So yeah, it's not coming off. So I think some of the things you get from craft stores, they are painted on the outside, and when you go and wipe them, that's it, all the decoration's gone. Or if you put them in the oven, the paint drips off or whatever. So this looks like it doesn't actually come off at all, which I'm quite pleased about. So yeah, this is really lovely looking, catches the light in all sorts of directions, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it at the moment. So this is kind of what this video is for, to kind of work out what I'm going to do with each thing, whether it's going to be like a collection of things that I've got here or one at a time for the next, you know, couple of weeks or something like that. Yeah, so I've got some ideas for this, but yeah, let me know in the comments what you think I could do with this one. Right, what else have we got here? So I don't know about this, but I picked it up anyway. So there's a lot of bottles like this that have got kind of like a green tint to them, a corked top, and then you've got something on it. So this one says Spider Cider. I don't know why I picked this one up. I think it's probably more to the colour because I don't really like spiders that much. I don't kill them. But if they run at me, that's it, they're done for, and they know that. But if they stay right still, they end up outside. So that was the kind of deal what I've got with spiders. But yeah, so what I'm going to do with this one is probably jazz it up, put some creepy things in it or around it or something like that. I think this is going to be a really cool Halloween decoration. It's got the kind of the right sort of beginning to it, if you like. I'm not sure if I'll keep this on it. I don't know if it will come off. Some of these, they will come off straight away, some of them won't, but you can either add to it, so over the sticker you can make spiders, or add some more text over this. You can make that out of black clay and then make it really creepy looking. You can also make it stand out quite a bit as well, so if you wanted to, you could cover the whole thing and make this whole decoration part stand out, and then you could create your own thing on it as well. I don't know if I'd fill it with anything, I'm not sure. A lot of people that make things out of resin are really talented in actually filling these up as well. They look really cool. I might do something like that, but yeah, they also do like water and then mica powder, and it kind of like swirls on the inside. I don't know if you've seen that, but I've seen a few TikToks about that and I thought, oh, that looks really cool. So, you know, I might do that as well, just for something a little bit different. So what else have I got here? So here was me thinking that perhaps I could use some fairy lights. These are just 40 LED star lights. Have they got stars on them? Oh yeah, they are stars. Look at that. So they're actual stars. I didn't know that when I picked them up, but that's cool. They're battery packs. You've got like 2 batteries to put in there, and they're quite cool. And I was thinking maybe they'd go in there. I don't know how much twinkling you get because there's only tiny little holes in this. But this is a really nice way of making something, and then you don't have to cover it up completely with clay. You can have some cutouts or something, stars or whatever you fancy, and then you can put these in there, and it does make a really nice decoration. Whether you do it for Halloween or, of course, the next one coming up is Christmas. Whether you do it for that as well, it's entirely up to you, but there's some cool designs out there that literally just have these sort of, you know, tucked inside, and they're not fixed as well. So if the battery runs out, you just pull it all out, replace the batteries and put it all back in, and it makes a really nice table decoration. So that is that one. Now I've got something really weird here, but you might understand why. I don't know. So I found this, and this is basically a wooden mushroom. It's completely made of wood, but this is what I'm thinking. If you make this whole thing out of clay, it's going to take a lot of clay. And when I saw it, I thought, you know what? Instead of making the whole thing out of clay, I could cover it with clay. So what I'm thinking is a bottom to it, and then moss, and then greenery, and then on the top obviously it'd have the red and the white spots, or it's red with white spots, I think. It's not the other way around, is it? yeah, whichever way around it is, I could do that on the top and perhaps leave all this kind of like wooden out, but then add maybe some other bits, like woody bits. Now with this, with it being polymer clay and wood, this is still going to have to go in the oven, and it's low temperature, so it won't burn. However, it means that the polymer clay won't probably stick to it once it's baked. So you put it in and it'll bake it to the shape, but then you'll have to gently peel it off and then put it back on with like either super glue, very, very little. I don't like a lot of super glue. Very little super glue, or you can rebake it if you really want to with liquid polymer clay, but you have to have that first bake in, otherwise you won't get the kind of the shape that you want it to be. So there's two ways we can do this. Because it is, I mean, this wasn't very expensive. This was about $3.99 or something like that. It's heavy, really heavy. But yeah, that is something that I'm really looking forward to doing. Now, I like this stuff, but it doesn't look great on polymer clay if you get it everywhere. It makes polymer clay really shiny, so I use it in absolutely tiny amounts if I have to. If I have to use it because something's broken, for example, I then cover it in absolutely tonloads of glitter so you can't see it, and I get away with it that way. However, you'll know that from my lamp here, that's exactly what I had to do to put it all back together, and it was thanks to this. But yeah, you do have to be careful with this type of thing because it just doesn't look great on polymer clay for long periods of time, and it can tend to kind of collect dust after a while. So I always make sure that I have some of it to hand just in case something breaks, and you can rescue it if you absolutely love the piece and you don't want to rebake anything, or worst case, start again. Like I said, this is a completely different video. I'd like to get your ideas in the comments of what you'd like to see. I am still taking recommendations for spooky things for spooky season. Got the options of more skulls, creepy gravestones. We've got skeletons, pumpkins, witchy things. Let me know in the comments. I'll do another poll at some point probably, so I can find out what you would all like to see. I have got my witchy cat up there. Still not very impressed about witchy cat. Don't know what on earth that was all about, but it was just what it came out with. I think what was wrong with it is the shape of the head was wrong, so it was rounded, and then these parts on the cheeks just didn't work for me. I don't know what I'd done wrong, it just didn't look right. So yeah, I'm definitely going to give that a try, or at least another go another time. But yeah, I can do miniatures and things like that. As I mentioned before, I don't want to kind of clog up my studio with a whole bunch of things that I make now that's absolutely massive that I don't know where to put. Because of sort of moving situations, whether that happens within the next few months this year or next year, we don't know yet, but it's good to be prepared, as I say. But yeah, so the next videos you're probably going to see, I'm going to do a lettering and numbering video so I can show you how to make lettering. If you're going to personalize things, I'm going to do them nice and big so you can get the curvature and you can get sort of the understanding of how you do a capital letter to a lowercase letter. And then I'm going to do numbers as well, so that's a video to look out for. I'm also going to do some mixed media art, probably with some paint and some other bits and pieces. And I can mix something with polymer clay for a change, just for something a little bit different. So there's a few things that are coming up in the future. I have holiday or vacation from work this week, so I am going to hopefully be doing a video a day. This is my challenge because I am not working, and yes, I'm resting sort of, but what I'm going to try and do is replace it with this so I can get some videos kind of like up and running, and so that I don't have to film. I mean, it's like Sunday. Today's Sunday, it's going up Sunday. So whatever the time is there, I can never see it. Whatever the time is there, I'm hoping this video will not only be edited, but up and running and on YouTube by 9 PM. So that is my goal. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see and what you think I can do with these really strange things. Oh, I've just thought I'm also going to do another video with tools. So what tools I use, would I recommend them, what would I invest in, what would I just avoid 100%, and how you can make your own tools without spending any money. You just use things that you've got around the house. So let me know if that's something you would also like to see. These are all coming up in the next, I'd say, couple of months. because yeah, as I said, I'm going to be doing an awful lot of filming this week. So it's so important to let me know in the comments what you would like to see, because that gives me inspiration, and if I'm honest, it makes my life a whole lot easier. So without further ado, I've got nothing to show you, but please let me know in the comments what you would like to see, and I'll see you again soon. So I went to Hobby Half. So the first one, I'm just going to grab out of here. Now this is a stencil. Let's talk about the bag. Let's get the next piece. Actually, let's get them all out. And that. And that. And that. I forgot I had that. So I've got them all out of this noisy paper bag now. I'm going to put that down. But let me in the comments. But I'm thinking maybe again something you could do. I think this is going to be a really cool Christmas decoration. We're not there yet. You know, what are they called? A lot of people that make resin think. So there's sort of like there's some blah, 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 blah. Now we were talking about glue here for a second. Now the brand that I always use is Loctite. Now I love this stuff, but I don't like it. What the effects it is. Oh my God, what was that? Almost blah, 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 blah. Something different, as long as blah, 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 blah.